Welcome, folks. This is the special meeting of the Red Hook Town Board, Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Would you be kind enough to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. I hope everyone is doing okay after the storm. It was quite an event, but certainly it's evidence of what we've been told over the years would be happening in the Northeast, that our winters would become full of these rather drastic rain events in lieu of what we were used to, which was snowfall. And I hope everyone is safe after such a bad day or two. We are here tonight because we had to continue the public hearing for the potential acquisition of public interest that would be open space for various purposes, one for parklands, one for conservation easement, and then the third element is public access throughout BART-owned properties. And we would like to, maybe before we go ahead, we're actually, while you're reading the notice, Deanna.
Notice of public hearing, Town of Red Hook. Is that okay? Regarding Bard College acquisition, conservation easement, and trails project under the town's Community Preservation Fund program. Please take notice that a public hearing extended from December 12th, 2023 will be held by the Town Board of the Town of Red Hook on December 19th, 2023 at 7:35 p.m. Local time at the Town Hall, 7340 South Broadway, Red Hook, New York, 12571, pursuant to Town's Community Preservation Fund, CPF program, to hear all interested persons regarding the acquisition of an interest or right in real property to preserve open space pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law, including the purchase of a contractual right necessary to achieve the purposes of such provisions for each the projects described below. With respect to the projects described below, the town expects to identify an eligible not-for-profit conservation organization to hold the conservation easement interests, with the town having a third-party enforcement right, and the town expects to apply for matching funds such that the town's share is not expected to exceed 50% of the acquisition costs, plus estimated additional project-related costs, and is proposed to be financed from the CPF program. UTS parcel, application submitted by Bard College as holder of a contract right for acquisition of the following interests with respect to an approximately 260.28 acre parcel located at 14-109 Seminary Drive, including 1, a fee interest in an approximately 78 acre portion of the parcel bordering the Hudson River, including lands underwater. 2, a conservation easement with respect to an approximately 39 acre portion of the parcel adjacent to County Road 103, River Road, and 3, a public access easement approximately 25 feet in width with respect to a portion of the parcel along Route 103, River Road, and with respect to a portion of the parcel adjacent to the fee parcel to serve as part of a connector trail to Montgomery Place trails. Montgomery Place parcels. Application submitted by Bard College for acquisition of a public access easement approximately 25 feet in width with respect to a portion of the parcels located at 20 Davis Way and 9 Gardner's Way. Bard College parcels, application submitted by Bard College for acquisition of a public access easement approximately 25 feet in width with respect to a portion of Bard College campus, including portions of the following: River Road, 9 Cedar Hill Road, 1259 River Road, 62 Bay Road, 1469 Annandale Road. The total project cost, including proposed program partner funding, is estimated not to exceed $3 million, with the town share estimated not to exceed $1.5 million. All interested persons will be given an opportunity to be heard in person or by directing comments in writing to the town clerk, 7340 South Broadway, Red Hook, New York, or by registering in advance to participate via video conference. The public may contact the town clerk via email by 2:00 p.m. the date of the hearing to obtain the video link. Pursuant to Section 22-15 of the Town Code and the town's video conferencing policy, one or more board members may participate in the public hearing via video conference due to extraordinary circumstances. Interested persons may register in advance to participate remotely via Zoom. To register, please send your email, name, and telephone number to townclerk@redhookny.gov by 2 p.m. on the day of the hearing. Persons interested in speaking at the hearing via Zoom should indicate in their registration email to the town clerk. All reasonable accommodations will be made for persons with disabilities. In such a case, please notify the town clerk in advance at the above address or by phone so that arrangements can be made. Please take further notice that copies of said application is available for review at the office of the town clerk, Red Hook Town Hall, 7340 South Broadway, Red Hook, New York. By order of the town board of the town of Red Hook, dated December 12, 2023, Deanna Cochran, town clerk, town of Red Hook.
Thank you, Deanna. At this time, I'd like to go ahead, if there are folks who are not at the previous public hearing.
You can't hear it?
Very nice attendance.
So turn it up.
Turn your sound up.
Sound is good.
I think we're getting feedback on Christine's mic.
Yeah.
Bill, do you have me on mute?
I don't.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Sounds like
You've got the mic close by.
That's on good.
What about now? No. I'm gonna recuse myself while I do something else. So I work for our college as a, part of this, so.
I have mine.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, how's the audio now?
It just comes
How's the audio now, Bill?
out there.
Can you hear him in the audience?
That's what's feeding me.
Bill, you're
No,
muted.
it was Christine's.
Bill,
Is that what it
you're
is?
muted yourself.
I'll turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it up.
Yeah. We're gonna turn it up a slight bit.
How's
Now
that?
try it. Just have it.
There you go. Is it?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. And you all can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I've put up on the screen for folks who were not at the initial public hearing last week, one of two maps for informational purposes. This particular map here showcases two of the elements. Over here on the western portion of the property, if you can follow my cursor, is approximately 78 acres, a few acres of which are actually underwater here on the other side of the tracks, but come with the property. This is being contemplated for a park. This area here, if you're familiar with the UTS property, it's the area west of the Messina House. Here's the mansion right here. Here's the larger educational building. And the Father's Trail, which is not indicated here, I'll show you on another map, but there would be a continuation from the Father's Trail up here on the pink line through the properties, Montgomery Place, and the initial Bard College campus lands. On the eastern portion here would be a conservation easement. You can see essentially the area indicated by the red lines. There would be a as with many agricultural conservation easements, there would be a small portion indicated right now being contemplated up here at the northern end to connect to the non-eased area, and quite a bit out of any view shed. And you will also notice that there is a trail access here coming off Tarrytown Road. The idea would be to get as much of the Empire State Trail off of the roadways as possible, and so there would be public access granted as part of this acquisition for a portion here as well. I will go back now to the documents, and we can take a look at the trail map for the folks at home. And I apologize, it'll just take a minute to scroll through. And for the folks at home, all of this is subject to surveys, the number of acres, the exact location of the trails. Really what the public hearing tonight is a continuation of is just one action, which is the acquisition. The details related to elements of any project, whether it's trail or whether it's a conservation easement, those are approved in final form at a subsequent meeting. So I'm going to go here and show you. Here's a map indicating the trails. Again, it's site specific, so they could deviate slightly in order to accomplish the goal of connecting. But you can see, this actually doesn't show the Father Trail very well. Let me zoom in there, you'll see a dotted line. Many of you are familiar with that trail that goes alongside the tracks. Here we go, up and around, and then continuing through the Montgomery Place properties and into the main campus. So there's both a western and an eastern trail and a connection here. Much of this already exists, so what we are doing is codifying public access through this project. And those are the maps that I think are relevant for tonight. Just a couple of comments. First of all, it goes without saying that a lot of gratitude towards both Bard College and Scenic Hudson for working together to accomplish something that frankly benefits the Red Hook citizens in such a way that takes this property and really, I think, energizes it. It's no secret that the property has from time to time been on the market, and it takes folks with vision and courage to really make this a huge asset for both the educational institution and for the community. And I think they've done a terrific job in outlining the basics about the project. So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we open the continued public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. All in favor? Christine? Julia? And I note that Jacob has recused himself from the matter. Okay, folks in the audience, if you would like to make some comments, if you'd be kind enough to please just come up to the microphone and state your name, please.
Yeah, come on. Let's turn it.
Gary Kowalski, where am I supposed to face?
Any
Oh my-
picture?
I get to face that. Oh, I'm honored. As I was reviewing, trying to prepare for this gathering here, there doesn't appear to be a lot of people here, I pulled from the town Red Hook a document, Green Plan Memorandum, from Theodore Fink. And I'd like to just skip to item 6. And this is my current concern. Comment, this project is being proposed to the public during the winter season when their attentions are directed elsewhere. This has always been politically advantageous method to obfuscate the need for a thorough review of a project. The public and other agencies need more time to review this project for its various social, historic, and environmental impacts. It should not be rushed through by the town board, and I agree with that. Now, of course, you had a response. As with all land acquisitions, the town board must move expeditiously, which I disagree with, to ensure that its interests in implementing officially adopted policies to provide for public benefits. I don't know how much we benefit by this, but including preservation of community character and potential park and open space opportunities can be fulfilled regardless of the season. Now I read that because I'm just, I'm supposed to be looking at that. I'm looking at this. My concern is we haven't had enough time to gather people who are opposed to this project because there are various parts of the country. It's Christmas time, and I propose that we postpone this decision, at least postpone the decision until January, when we can gather some people. That's all I have to say about that. I'm just concerned about the timing of this. I keep wanting to look over here. The timing of this affair. Now, just getting down to basics, I want to understand this. Does BARD own all of this right now? BARD owns all of this.
Gary, we're here to hear your comments, not to.
I can't hear you.
If it were Q&A, we would be at public hearings all night long. We did have quite a few folks at the last meeting.
Well, I was witness. I saw that on video, and you may have had a lot of people applauding, but you had a few people, you had maybe 8 people come up and express themselves. This is the Christmas holiday season, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary. Any more comments on the proposed project?
Sure. I'm just getting started.
Well, Gary, just so you know, we've had for nearly 20 years a 3-minute limit on comments, but please.
How about the first person you entertained during the last minute? You gave the last meeting. You gave him 4.5 minutes.
Gary, if you have some comments relative to the project, we'd love to hear it.
All righty. CF money, 10% of all project costs. How long does that last? Does CPF money apply to other past projects? In other words, if you do this, will there be money to maintain the maintenance that the town's going to have to absorb through perpetuity, through forever? Perpetuity. Is there 10% put aside for Cookinghams? Is there 10% put aside for Cookingham East? Is there 10% put aside for this project here? Or is the town going to have to maintain these forever? Well, he's probably trying to say something I can't hear. And
we're here to listen to your comments on the project.
I'm trying to make comments on the project, but I can't hear you.
Gary, we're here to hear your comments on the project. If you can continue, please.
I don't know where you are. You're not here, they're here. So, BARD does own the property. That's nice to know. Why are we getting involved with their project, with their problem? Why are we buying water? Why do we have to enlarge the area of recreation? Why do we have to have more paths? Just why? Does this town need this? I don't think so, but at that point, enjoy wherever you are, my friend. I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Good.
Would anyone else like to make some comments?
He'd show up.
Is there anyone else who would like to make some comments this evening at the public hearing?
Sure. I'd like to just say that I think this is a really exciting opportunity for the town. I spent a lot of time on this property over the last 20 years, and I think that there's really some great opportunities to really sort of integrate it between the different properties and provide a great public access. My question has been, has there been any conversations about east of River Road and connecting that property around the orchards and some of that open land that goes along the Sawkill? And I'd just be curious, well, I guess this is just public comment, for us to consider that, because I think that there's some real great connections there as well to look at. So, thank you.
Can you just
Robert,
can you just state your name?
Robert Burke, and I live at 1078 River.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Next, would anyone else like to make some comments?
Yeah,
No one else?
No, someone's
Okay.
we got somebody
Okay.
coming over.
Yep, I can see.
Corinne Weber and I live here locally. I'm just wondering why BAR did not donate this land to Red Hook rather than making us purchase it, since they already got the money given to them so that they could buy the seminary.
Thank you, Corinne. Any more comments on the project itself?
No, it wouldn't do it
Tonight's
good.
public
It doesn't do
hearing.
any good. Just out of curiosity, where are
Very
you?
good. Anyone else?
Yeah, there's one more.
Paula, if you'd be kind enough to come up to the mic.
Hi, Paula Schoonmaker. I live in Barrytown, and I'm chair of the Waterfront Advisory Committee. We're charged with updating the local waterfront revitalization program documents and maps. And in the course of doing that, it's clear that the town has been trying to obtain more public access for the community to the river and the waterfront. And while this is not the perfect answer, it's a huge step forward that the town has been trying to find for decades. So I applaud the board and the supervisor for making this possible. And this is exactly what the CPF fund is for. So I thank you all.
Thank you, Paula. Is there anyone else who would like to make some comments at the
Yeah.
public here?
Hi, Tom
Tom.
Toy, Senior Vice President of Bard College. I just want to say that we're excited about this project. I think that this is going to be a real boon to the community. Looking at Red Hook to not have waterfront property, this was an opportunity that we thought that we could help provide that at a discount, albeit at a sale. And we hope to really activate this spot and use this as a stepping stone to open the campus that we really take pride in its beauty. We do have limited resources in what we can do, and so that's why we have to look to other sources of funding, including philanthropy, but this I think is a win-win for the community. We're excited to see what the town can do with it, and we're also interested in protecting some of these view sheds that make that area so idyllic as you enter the campus, and really make the western front to the river feel more a part of Red Hook than it does now. Thank you.
Thank you, Lamont.
Yeah.
Would anyone else like to make some comments? Okay, very good. And the record will show we received quite a few written comments as well as comments during both public hearings. hearings. We have, since our last public hearing and meeting, we've received referrals from both the planning board on the LWRP consistency. They've made a determination that the action is consistent. We also received a recommendation from the Community Preservation Advisory Board that reviewed the project as it relates to the CPF project plan, and they unanimously approved the project. They had a suggestion that the ag complex be located near the north, and I see that the most recent iteration does currently provide for that. And I believe that's all that is relevant for the public hearing. I would like to note, I think we did hear some quotes from our planner's referral. Those quotes were from a resident and not from the planner. And the planner was responding to a quote related to the season and taking action at the season. I do realize that not everyone comes to the town board meetings, but we have been talking about this for upwards of about 8 or 9 months now, that we have been working with Scenic Hudson and Bard College to see if we might have some public access to portions of those properties. And this is just, in my opinion, a wonderful opportunity to create a park and some public trails and protect important view sheds. And I feel like this is a terrific win for the residents of the community. The Community Preservation Fund can only be used for certain things, and they are open space preservation, recreational, i.e. parklands, trails as well, and purchase of historic properties. And so, if there are no other comments at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Very good. All in favor? Christine King.
Aye.
Paul Wall.
Aye.
Fine. Okay. We need to finish our seeker work. We did review both part 2 and part 3 at our last meeting. But now that we have that, give me just 1 moment. I'll get back there.
And Mr. Supervisor, perhaps I could suggest that you review the LWRP consistency determination based on the planning board's recommendations and your planner's preparation of a draft.
Will do. See if I can pull that up on the screen for the folks in the audience and at home. Okay, here's the the LWRP determination. It refers to when the LWRP was adopted in 1995, and folks should know that it is in the process of being updated and revised. The form lists 44 policies. These were reviewed. The name of the action, and a description of the action was reviewed by the planning board at their meeting last night. That description is the acquisition for parklands, a conservation easement on 39 acres, thereabouts, and a public access easement approximately 25 feet in width throughout the various properties. For the folks at home, here's what the consistency form looks like. Here are the various policies that are reviewed, and a determination is made along with comments and further descriptions as they relate to the adopted plan. There will be further review when things are constructed. As part of the park plans, when a design is created, and we'll be looking for lots of public input on that, as we indicated at the last meeting. Tonight's action is to determine whether or not the acquisition has a significant environmental impact and whether the acquisition is consistent with the policies of the LWRP. Historic resource, scenic quality, and of course we know that is a scenic byway, River Road. Agricultural lands, there are lands that have soils of statewide importance. Water and air resources. Here is the resolution. There's a coastal assessment form that is part of the review process. This property lies within the Scenic Corridor Overlay Zoning District, which was designated as a scenic viewshed in the town of Red Hook Open Space Plan. And there is the record of the planning board, which was a unanimous vote that the project is consistent. Are there any questions, folks, on this matter? Okay, hearing none, I think we're ready to entertain resolution number 95, dated December 19th. It's adopting a secret determination of non-significance regarding purchase of interest in lands, including acquisition, conservation easement, and public access easement. And the whereas describes once again the project, the location of the project, and the actions of the project, the three different types of actions. It also records the referrals both to the CPF Advisory Committee and to the Planning Board. There was a Part 1 EAF on the project that was prepared nearly a month ago, and a full environmental assessment form. And I believe we have enough information that determination.
And Mr. Supervisor, could I ask you to first consider the motion on the local waterfront revitalization consistency determination by the town board, followed by
Yeah.
the consideration of the secret resolution, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
So we have our own LWRP form, which is not, as you might imagine, different than, and here is the FEAF with the description again for the folks at home. I apologize for all the scrolling. We did look at 2 and 3 at our previous meeting. And here is our LWRP, similar description and references the 3 various actions. At this time, I think we can entertain a motion on the LWRP to determine that it is consistent, this action. Who would like to make that motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Christine. As the former chair of the planning board, you've made a lot of these motions, haven't you? And you're quite familiar with the plan, having donated so much of your time to updating it. We appreciate that. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Julia. Further discussion? If not, all in favor, Bill Hamel?
Aye.
And myself, aye. We also have a coastal assessment form. Which lists the actions. So we can blow that up a little bit better on the screen. What the property is near. Resources. Will it have a significant effect upon? No, because it's an acquisition action. And once again, a description. Would like to make a motion that we approve the coastal assessment form.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Christine. All in favor, Julia?
Aye.
And myself, aye. All right, so let's go back to Resolution 95. Apologize, don't get dizzy looking at the scrolling. Adopting a secret determination of non-significance. Again, it recounts the referrals, the actions, and the forms that were both filled out and reviewed over the last month and change. Very good. The resolution suggests that the town board adopts the findings and conclusions relating to the probable environmental effects contained within the attached DAF and the neg deck, concluding that the acquisition of interest in property, including a conservation easement or a third-party enforcement right in a conservation easement, a public access agreement, and acquisition of lands for recreational purposes with respect to the parcels described above will not have an adverse impact on the environment. In fact, quite the opposite. Protecting these lands may be extremely beneficial to the environment. It also asks that you authorize the supervisor to execute the EAF and file a negative declaration in accordance with the provisions of law. And the town board authorizes and directs the town clerk to distribute a copy of this resolution. Who would like to move resolution 95?
So moved.
Thank you, Christine. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Julia. Any further discussion about the environmental review? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, Bill Hamel?
Aye.
Myself, thank you very much. Okay, our next resolution. You have that resolution. There is the referral from the CPF board. Apologize. Get there. All of this information is on the town's website. Folks are welcome to log on and look at the particular meeting. We also have some documents under a category called review documents. We'll get there. There we are. Resolution number 96, it would be Deanna, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you, Bill. Granting approval for the use of monies in the Community Preservation Fund for the purchase of interests in lands for Bard College acquisition, conservation easement, and public access easements. Of course, before we entertain this resolution, we want to congratulate the residents of Red Hook who voted for the Community Preservation Fund back in 2007 and had the foresight to know that there would be many important properties that would be beneficial to both protect and to also utilize for recreational uses. We believe this is one of those. Pursuant to the town's CPF program, an application has been submitted by Bard College for acquisition of an interest in property, including a conservation easement or third-party enforcement right, public access, acquisition. We've gone over all of this. It's the total property is approximately 260 acres. We will be acquiring approximately 78, including some of those underwater lands that come with the property, and a conservation easement on approximately 39 acres. All of this is subject to final tuning once the survey is complete. Pursuant to Chapter 57 of the Town Code, which relates to the Community Preservation Fund, we've referred the application. They have unanimously recommended it after reviewing the attributes and the priority as it relates to the plan itself. And for the folks at home, properties that are eligible were subject to public hearings over the course of the 16 years that the plan has been in place. So if you will, many of these properties were pre-approved when the plans were developed and put forth to the public. A public hearing was held last week on the 12th. It's continued to tonight on the 19th. We have heard from many folks, both in person and also writing, including those that are in favor of it, and tonight we heard a couple that were opposed or at least wanted to delay. And it is proposed that the town acquire the interest in lands as described above. The funding of the project is estimated not to exceed $3 million, with the town entertaining sharing 50-50 for a total town portion of $1.5 million, which is a portion of the amount of funds that are in the Community Preservation Fund. The conservation easement would be acquired for the purpose of preserving open space, which the state under section 49 of the environmental conservation law allows for. We have prepared some documentation and will be further preparing specifics related to these documents. Town Board has reviewed the recommendation of the Planning Board and determined that the proposed action is consistent with the LWRP. We've determined that the action is a type 1 action based on the EAF. We've given due consideration to the recommendation of the Board, and we've reviewed the application documents. We are now contemplating that the purchase of lands in the property is a high priority project on the basis of the importance of the resources to be preserved, and we have considered the availability of funding by others. And again, I will just reiterate, our partner Scenic Hudson has really, can't say enough where the town of Red Hook would be if we were not to have the Scenic Hudson and other partners working with us. The purchase of interest in lands is in the best interest of the town, and so we are resolved to go ahead and entertain a vote to purchase these interests in lands, including, once again, the 3 categories for recreational, open space, and conservation purposes. Folks, if it's all right with you, I would like to move resolution number 6 with gratitude to Bard College and Scenic Hudson and all the residents of Red Hook.
We'll second that motion.
Thank you, Bill. Further discussion? Okay, I know you all had a chance to speak at the last meeting. That said, I would like to take a roll call of the vote, please. All in favor? Christine Kane?
Aye.
William Hamill?
Aye.
Julia Solomon?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Please let the record show that Council Member Jacob Testa has recused himself from this matter. Well, congratulations, everyone. We look forward in 2024 to reaching out to the community to get lots of ideas as we continue to work towards realizing this project. It will take us several months to obtain the necessary documents, the survey, and so on and so forth. But in the meantime, we'd love to hear from you and your thoughts on how we might accomplish the best project. Okay, and thanks to everyone who showed up for this public hearing and for the previous one. At this time, I'd like to also, we have some other business to attend to, if we could. On the matter of our budget for 2024, during the budget process, I had provided funding thank you, Jacob, for joining us. I provided some funding, additional funding for the deputy town clerk position, the deputy tax collector position, the deputy cemetery position, in the hopes that we could perhaps consider, at least on a trial basis, restoring that position to full-time. As you know, we are trying to recover from some of the pandemic revenue implications. And so what I'd like to do is consider town board members providing some additional town clerk offices. I think that the level of activity has reached such that we need to be available Friday afternoons in the summer as well. And I'd like for you to consider authorizing the funding that was provided and approved in the 2024 budget that was adopted, so that we could, at least for the ensuing year, the town clerk can utilize that funding and we can have a full-time deputy town clerk. So I would like to make that motion. Would somebody like to either second that motion?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Bob. Is there any further discussion on the matter?
So just to clarify, this is for the term of this budget year, because that's where the funds were included, right?
For 2024, yeah. Okay. You know, we don't know what the economy will bring. Just for the folks at home, we have various funds that we can utilize. Only certain, we can tap into only a particular fund for certain items or payroll. And this is an A fund expense. We rely on not only property taxes, but mortgage taxes in the A fund. We don't have a crystal ball on mortgage revenues. There has been some, however, significant activity and lowering of mortgage rates in the last week or 10 days. It could perhaps jumpstart some more activity and provide for some more funding to help, fund that position and other positions, obviously, in the A fund. So, hopeful, but obviously we won't know until we see how the year plays out, what mortgage tax revenues will be. I do think that we've had an increasing level of service need, whether it's hunting permits. The store across the street has closed. At Dutchess Archery, they used to process permits there. We're finding that we're needing to do a lot of notarizations. Now that we've taken over the cemetery, there's some work associated with that as well. And so I think it really benefits us to consider, if we can, to have a full-time in that position. Further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, at this time I'd like to take a vote on that. And all in favor? Julia Solomon.
Aye.
Jacob Testa.
Aye.
Christine Kane.
Aye.
Bill Hamel.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Okay, I think that concludes tonight's business that we have. I would like to wish everyone at home a wonderful holiday season. Perhaps you've already started or concluded your holiday. Wishing you health and happiness, and also to try to remember folks who may not have somebody to celebrate the holidays as they approach. Stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you, town board. Thank you, public. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.